So that was just a couple fawns. I'm at my second location. Trail camera right down there. I've got game trail. They meet in the middle over here. I got another game trail running up where you just saw they were at. I got my hang on stand right there. I think I'm gonna go right up this tree right here. Now, obviously, I'm gonna have to come back with a sawzall and limb some shooting lanes, a bunch of these small trees, dead things. But I think right there will be really good because that gives me this tree, give me a little cover. And I can't believe I just had 2 fawns walk in within like 10 foot of me while I'm doing this. Anyways, I can already hear people like, oh my God, you're blowing them deer out. I mentioned it in the video where I talked about my trail cams. This is a farm where there is a lot of people working here. There's interns. I've literally seen deer like in brush and people working, you know, 10, 15 feet away from them. And the deer don't seem to be bothered. I'm talking about wind going straight towards them too. Not that they're tame, like you saw they ran. They don't want to get too close. But human scent just really doesn't seem to freak them out as bad on this property. Now that's not the same with bucks. The nice bucks, they wind out pretty quick. But name of the game on this property though is doe control. That's why one of the reasons why the farmers let us hunt here is to help manage the doe numbers, because they depend on what they're growing, and the does tear that up. They got a lot of deer out here. But let me go ahead and strap this on. I might put the headset on while I'm putting this up. And I want to note too, I'm wearing a saddle. I don't wear a harness. I haven't worn one in years. I think these are way safer when I'm hunting out of stands, hang-on stands, climber stands. I'm wearing my saddle. I usually use a saddle hunting when I'm doing public land. But again, I think these are way safer, easier to use. And if, God forbid, my stand ever fell out from underneath me, I can rappel down the tree with this. I can't do that with the traditional harness. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this going, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. Hopefully this all comes in pretty good with this GoPro. Wearing this thing on the head's a little weird because sometimes it's hard to get the angles right. Now, unfortunately, like a moron, I didn't bring my ropes to pull this stuff up, so I got to do this all kind of one at a time. And on top of that, these are the, you know, like heavy, you know, muddy style, or, you know, whatever, real tree Walmart sticks. You know, this isn't my lightweight saddle setup. You know, those sticks. But this one I'm setting up, and this thing's going to stay here for the season. So, unless of course I have good reason to move it around. Strap that in. Give that a bite. Good. And I don't know if I'm going to use all 4 of these sticks, because I'm going to be hunting on an angle here, on a slope, so there just might not be a need for that. Okay, so now that I'm getting a little bit higher here, I'll go ahead and throw my lineman's belt on, which I probably should have had prepared ahead of time. Kind of rushing. I got about 20 minutes to try to make this thing a reality. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that up. There we go. And a little pro tip, always check your knot on the end before climbing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pop one up a bit. And I don't know why this thing's stretched out so much. There we go. So we'll go about like that. The thing is too, at this spot, I don't necessarily know if I want to go too high. Because I got that branch in the way. I don't have my saw. That side I'll maybe go around. I'll put up one more and see where I'm looking at height wise. As I was saying there, I really don't need to go too high, because again, I'm shooting down pretty far. It's about 6-7 feet lower from where I'm at right now. And on top of that, if you look here, there's not tons of stuff behind me. Not that that's a problem right now, but if I'm hunting this later in the season, I don't want to be out here and, you know, be exposed once a leaf fall happens. So the more cover I can get at that time too, the better. And it looks like if I stay a little bit lower, there's still gonna be enough backdrop behind me to where it won't stand out. Like I said, I hope this is all coming up on the GoPro good. Or at least decent. So this is where that branch is at. See if we can't go around that. You know, I can always come back out with my saw and just cut that. We're just gonna do that. Whoa. Let me tighten this up a bit. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of put this around this. I'm gonna cut this later. Like I said, I don't have to fool with it right now. Oh boy. Hear how loud this is? You know, as I'm sitting here banging this, it's kind of driving me crazy, because usually when I'm doing this kind of stuff, like I said, I'm actually saddle hunting. Those sticks, I got them wrapped and all kinds of stuff, so they're a lot quieter, a lot lighter, all that good stuff. I feel like I'm doing something naughty, having them banging and changing like that, but like I said, it's not going to matter too much. These deer, and again, not that they're tame or anything, but they're just very used to noises of the farmers banging stuff, equipment making noise, all that jazz. So they don't tend to get too bothered whenever you're making noise around here. Now, I said that by no means makes for an easy hunt. Deer are still deer, but it's like an added bonus kind of. All right, so let's see where we're at here. I might end up, I think we're good. I don't think I need that other platform, because that's going to keep me, I mean, I'm 6'9", probably 11-12 foot off the ground at this point. And then, you know, obviously I'll be standing or sitting, so that'll bring me up to right around 15 foot, especially from downward to that angle. Yeah, I think I'll be good. I like this tree right here too. Oh shoot. Oh, kicked out from under me. It's because of this. I need to adjust that real quick. Let me fix that. Thank God for the lineman's belt, huh? Man. Got a little dicey for a second there. Good Lord. Yeah, like I said, I'll come out with the Sawzall. I'll rip that branch. Let's do that. Bring that nice and tight. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm putting the stand right here. I like how that's set. Like I said, I got a pole saw and cut that. That's gonna give me a little bit of cover, so I'll be able to shoot stuff that way. That'll protect me when they're right in front of me. Good. Now, another thing too, this is gonna be a big hang on. Like I said, unfortunately, I forgot my ropes and all that good stuff. So I gotta get a little creative getting this thing up here. Now I do have the lineman's for my actual tether. I just clip it to that. We're gonna do that. Stick these goodies in here. Hopefully not drop them as I'm trying to pull them out. Check my time. All right, I got roughly about 10 minutes to make this a reality here. I think I can do it. Get this done. Should be able to swap out my, let's do this. Should be able to swap out my SD card in that camera. I don't know what I was planning on doing here. Go like this. Oh man, whatever works, right? This is silly. I think there's another deer over there. Okay. Well, I definitely want to get my lineman's belt up here, because this is very difficult to climb. Yeah, baby. Tighten my Prusik knot up a bit. All right, there we go. So now, let me figure this out. I really don't know what comes next. It's a pretty janky plan. I've had worse. Like I said, I was kind of rushing. Got like an hour on my lunch break here to try to get this thing done. All right. So first things first. I didn't bring my hooks either. That's a thing too. Normally I bring a and I'm gonna drop that. And this thing's big too. You know, this is the first time I've ever used one of these. Like big ones like this. Normally I just have like little tiny ones. Should be pretty nice to sit in, but man, oh man. My test. Okay, so where are we at here? How do I want to do this? It works. There we go. So I cut this out of the way. Be in good shape. Feels nice and stable. All right. Just kind of as a backup here, take one of these good old things. Let me do this real quick. It's making me nervous. There we go. All right. So I kind of don't like having that buckle there, but you know, it's up for now. If I need to put it on the other side, I can. Let's get risky now. Good Lord, I'm unclipped. Should never do that. Yep. Generally speaking, if you are going to do that, especially wearing a saddle, you just tie off your actual tether and that jazz and do that. Yep. Speaking of which, go ahead and get myself anchored up here as if I was going to hunt. See what we're looking at. Give her the old stability test. Yeah, we're good too. So if I need to adjust this, make it higher, whatever, I can do that. I can always bring the one stick back out and fool with that, but just for my sake, yeah, let me make that tight real quick. Yeah, that looks pretty solid. Now again, make sure this thing's still on. Okay, yeah, we're still filming. So, man, this is pretty nice. Like I said, I've never actually had one of these big dog ones or whatever they're called. This is good because, as I mentioned earlier in my video, there's a real good possibility I'm going to be shooting crossbow this year because I got a shoulder injury, and I tried practicing with my bow, and it's really painful to draw back. So yeah, this looks good, man. Like I said, that deer trail is probably, I don't know, 15 yards that way. There's another one 20 yards out. There's another one there. One runs up past here. And like I said, at the height I got this, it's good because when deadfall happens, I'll still have a good bit of stuff behind me, so I won't stick out like a sore thumb. But yeah, this would be good, man. We got a crossbow, or heck, even a muzzle loader, man. This might be a real good spot for that. Clear cut all that. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I can make some nice shooting lanes here. Got my pole saw, cut that. Get the Sawzall, and clear cut shooting lane straight through all that stuff. I'll come over here, clear cut some stuff. All right, we're gonna head down now. Get the SD cards, or SD card I have. And actually I should probably go ahead and hook this up first. Go pick my SD card up, spray my vinegar, and hurry up and get back to work. Oh shoot, what's going on with my knee pad? Yeah, definitely gotta get that branch out of here. And that one too. Oh, where's my step? Ah, there we go. So again, not the right way to do this, but trust my grip.